Sorry. So now
Okay,
suppose
sir.
I am performing selection sort and my sequence of data is in this order. Now this is the, generally this is called the worst case because I need ascending order. But if you check it, just try it at home. If you implement the selection sort algorithm, if you perform the dry run, you will see this is not the worst case. Why? See, in first iteration, you will find minimum in this location. So one interchange, 11:55. Next iteration, 22 is the minimum. So again interchange between these two. So 22:44. Now see, it is sorted. So although it seems that the reverse order will give me the worst case, but it is not always true. It always depends which sequence give us the maximum time. That will be called worst case. Okay. Now in quick short, we will see this again. Okay. Now try to understand this one, how to implement the linear search in a form of equation. So I'm considering, in case of linear search, I'm considering the worst case. So what happened in case of worst case? I will compare with one element. I have compared with one element, say C is the time required to compare with one element. My element is not found. Then I will go for comparing. So this is my array. I have compared with this. My element is not found. Then what I will do? I will go for searching rest n-1 elements. So I can add this. Is it clear? Is this equation clear to you? Is the meaning is clear to you? Again,
Yes, sir.
very simple.
This is the worst case, sir.
Yes, we always, I have already told you na, that if you give some solution for a problem and your solution is giving better time, less time than the existing solution in worst case. Okay, if your algorithm is giving better in worst case, then only you can say that my algorithm is better than others. Otherwise, there is no existence of your algorithm. Okay, so in worst case, what is the first thing I will do? I will compare each single element. So that's why I am writing it this one. One comparison, suppose for one comparison, I am taking C time. Then C into 1. Then again I have to compare with rest. So this is called a recurrence relation. So for linear searching, the equation is like this. So if you try to solve this equation again and again, then what is the value of t of n-1? The value of t of n-1 is again C plus t of n-2. Correct? Now what is, now if I put this into this position, I will get Tn equal to C plus T of n-2. Logic clear? So it becomes 2 into C plus T of n-2. So for the first one, it is 1 into C T of n-1. For the second one, it is 2 into C n-2. For the third one, you will get it like this. 3 into C plus T of n-3. Okay. Now in this way, if you continue, what will happen at the end? It becomes n into C plus T of n-n. So what is T of n-n? It is 0. How much time is required to search 0 element? Obviously 0. So it will give you n into C. So your time is depends on number of elements. It is giving you a linear equation, y equal to mx, a linear equation. Logic clear? So that's why it is called linear time complexity. Now try to develop the the binary search. What is happening in case of binary search? So this is your total problem. You are comparing with meat, and this is your n number of elements. And after comparing with meat, your problem is divided into two sub-problems. It is almost n by 2, not exactly n by 2, but you can say almost n by 2. Then what you will do, you will select either this or this, not both the cases. So your recurrence relation will be like this: T of n, to search in binary search, time required to from n elements. Okay, first I am comparing with meat. So 1 into C, one comparison. Then I am going either this n by 2 or this n by 2. So your equation becomes like this. Logic clear? So this is your recurrence relation. Now if you want to break this again and again, so what is in the next one? What is n by 2? N by 2 becomes 1 into C plus T of n by 4. Now if I put this T of n by 2 in this equation, I will get T of n equal to C plus T of n by 2 square. Yeah, 2 to the power 1. Okay, if I break it another time, it will give you, so it becomes 2 into C plus T n by 2 square. Now if I break it another time, it will give me 3 into C plus T of n by 2 to the power 3. So now if I break it in this way again and again, say after k times, I don't know after how many times I will get the success, but after k times it becomes single element. So it becomes like this: k into C plus T of n by 2 to the power k. Now what is n by 2 to the power k? Now it means I am dividing my value again and again. So suppose n is 16. So after first division it becomes 8 to the power 1. Then again second division it becomes 4 to the power 2. I am dividing with 2 to the power 2. Again in the third division it becomes 2. I have divided by 2 to the power 3. Now again another division it becomes 1. So I have divided by 2 to the power 4. So here k is 4. And after this, what is the size of the elements? 1. So if after k times, I can say it becomes 1. This is the terminating condition. So then what I will do, from there I will search the value of k. What is the value of k? The value of k is log n. So if I put it here, it becomes C into log n plus T of 1. What is the time required to search one single element? It is 1. To search one element, time required is C. So now it is a equation where it depends on log value, not the value of n, just like in this case. Here it depends on log value. That's why its time complexity is called logarithmic. Okay. So in this way, for different algorithms, we can set different recurrence relation, and from that recurrence relation, we can finally come with the time complexity. Okay, so I'm not going to, there are some specific definition for time complexity, which are called asymptotic notations, big O, theta, omega. There are different types of representation of algorithms time complexity, but I'm not going directly to that. But for so far, just try to understand how to measure the time complexity. So this type of equation you have to develop from your algorithm, and then finally you will reach in such a value. Okay, now if I represent it in big O notation, then its time complexity is called order of n. This is called big O time complexity, or we can say order of n. Okay. Similarly, what is the time complexity of this one? Since it depends on log n value, that's why time complexity is big O log n. In searching binary search, if you look in your book, textbook, you will see it is written order of n square. Now why? Because we have already seen the time complexity for binary search will give us a equation like this. Okay. Now this is a polynomial equation. Okay. And which one having the highest value? Obviously n square is the highest value. So the time complexity is depends on n square. So in this way, we will represent our time complexity, order of. There are other concepts also. This is big O notation. There is theta notation. There is omega notation also. But this big O notation having the most popularity. Why? I will tell you later in the next class maybe. Okay. Now, for today, let us move into. So we have covered linear search and binary search, and we have already covered the bubble sort, selection sort. Okay. Now I have told you that there are different sorting techniques, and each sorting technique having its own advantages. Okay. Now today I will discuss. Okay. Uh, this is one home task for you. What is the home task is? In a binary search, search a particular element, If it is found, then return where means it is index value, where you found it, and if not found, then where it should be. I hope I'm clear. Suppose this is your elements where you have to search 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66. Now suppose in this array you are searching 55. So these are the index values. So this is a success. Okay. So it will return that it is found in 4 index value. Now in this array, if I search say 35, then it should say it is a failure and it should be within 2 to 3 like this. Am I clear? It should be in it should be in between 2 and 3. So this is the home task. So you not only implement binary search, but also you have to check where I have found the element. Again, question may arise if there are more than one duplicate elements, means mid elements or search element, then we will search only the first encounter. Okay, first one we will be return. So success with index value for the first element. Okay, and if it is not found, now see, if it is not found, and if you are able to give where it should be, it will give you a very interesting solution. We'll discuss later about the solution. Why we need where we can put or where it should be. Why I am looking for that. Okay. Now, somewhere I'm trying to annotate something. So, okay. Now, if you go for selection sort or bubble sort, then you have seen these two are called brute force. Means why these two are brute force algorithms? From the definition of brute force algorithm, they say that for the solution of the problem, if I compare each and every element, or if I involve each and every element in the solution, then we say it is brute force. So if you see in case of selection, we are selecting the minimum, so I have to compare with each and every element. Again, in case of bubble sort, we are comparing adjacent elements. So again, we are comparing with each and every element. So these two are purely brute force algorithm. Now, what is the problem in these two algorithm solutions? The problem is we need the data all together. Am I clear? Means if I want to sort some elements, that data must be present in my RAM. Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay, suppose I have to sort 100 elements, and so far I have already only supplied 60 elements, then it is very difficult to perform selection or bubble sort. Because if you perform a bubble sort on the system 60 elements, then after when we get the rest 40, again I have to perform the same sorting for the 100 elements. So this is one problem in case of selection or bubble sort. So if you remember, if any of you have ever played cards, so in case of card distribution, when we distribute the cards, the players collect the data in different ways. Suppose I am distributing the cards. So there are four players. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players. I am distributing the cards. So what I will do, I will distribute the cards in a circular way like this. This way I will circulate the cards. Now the players collect the cards in different ways. How? Some players collect the cards after the final distribution. When I finally completed my distribution, he will collect all the cards. Okay? In that case, what he is doing after that collection, what he will do, he will sort the cards according to his requirements. It means he is performing, generally he is perform selection sort. And why I am able to perform selection sort? Because I have already got the 13 cards. So now I can sort them. But if you follow that some players collect the cards after its distribution. If I distribute one cards, he will collect it. Then I distribute second card, he will collect it. Then I distribute third card, he will collect it. So this is called online sorting. Am I clear? Anyone? Any problem with this card collection? Any query? Asjad.
So,
Yes.
can you repeat that online sorting?
Which one? Which one?
Really well.
Is it clear this how players are collecting the cards? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So some players collect the cards after its final distribution. In that case, he will perform generally selection sort. Nobody used to do bubble sort, which is a very cumbersome. Okay. But some players, what they do, when one card is distributed, he will collect it. Then when the next card is distributed, he will collect the next card and put it in its proper position. That is clear. Then the third card, he will put it in proper position. So this type
Yes,
of
sir.
sorting is called online sorting. Am I clear?
Oh, sir, thank you.
Sir, so
Why?
basically
Thank
we
you.
are sorting the cards in real time, like as
Right,
and when I'm
exactly.
getting.
Exactly. So this type of sorting has a different concept and different application. See, when you have 60 elements out of 100 elements and you have performed one kind of sorting which is already sorted these 60 elements, if you apply this type of sorting, then the next 40 elements also will be easily sorted. But if you perform selection or bubble, it is very difficult. That's why this sorting is called online sorting, sometimes called card sorting, and the exact name is insertion sort. Remember this. Why insertion sort? Because you are inserting the new element in its proper position. You are collecting the data online and you are putting the data in sorted order in real time. That's why this sorting have its own advantages. Okay, so I think with this I'm ending today's class, because if I go to implement the algorithm of insertion sort, it will take some time, and there are many things to discuss about this insertion sorting, because this is very interesting sorting. Okay, so if there is any query from today's class, you can tell me. Any query? I don't think all the 43 students are listening. আমার মনে হচ্ছে হ্যাঁ 43 জনই শুনছে।
No, sir, we are listening.
No, sir, we are listening.
No, sir, we are
No, sir, we are
listening.
listening, sir.
Thank you very
We are
much.
listening, sir.
স্যার বলছি আগের দিন একটা প্রবলেমস বলেছিলাম যে ওই অ্যারের যে মানে শেষে কি করে পয়েন্টারটা যায় মানে ইনক্রিমেন্ট করলে ওটা প্রোগ্রামিং এ কি করে করব মানে কোডিং এ কি করে করব ওটাই আগের দিন জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলাম।
Screen is visible, na?
হ্যাঁ ইয়েস স্যার।
Yes, sir.
Keyboard. So, suppose one integer pointer is there, start, and there is one array of pointers, say star a, say something equal to 2, and there are some one pointer to an array, so bracket star, say p, this is also size 2. There is one x equal 5, y equal 6. Then CLR is here. Plus a of 0 is equal to ampersand x, and a of 1 equal to %y. Store the addresses of x and y in array of pointers. Now p equal to, suppose I am writing p equal to a. P is pointing to the first element. So if I want to access the next element, so printf percent d. Suppose I want to print the value of say x. So now p is pointing to this element. So if I write it star p, it should print. Let's check.
5.
So I say as feature test .c. 5
Print
running
5.
by running SPCS pointer conversion.
Sir, should it be double star P?
Let's check. 16. So the picture is, yes, right.
Double
Is
star.
it?
It is.
Double star. Exactly. Thank you. Now it is okay. Yes, this one is for return statement. So if I want to print the value, okay. Now, if I want to print the next one, or if I write the plus plus in next, please. Plus then print percentage star. Okay. Now if I perform p++, it will move into the next. Clear?
Yes.
Now just try to print the address of say B. So 36314. So this is the address of
Address of
B.
B.
I store B instead of this. I perform B plus here. Then we try to print
What?
now see
Sir,
first
4
one
plus.
4 plus na? Is it clear now? Integer is 2.
ইন্টিজারের সাইজটা আরেকবার প্রিন্ট করে 4 না 2 নিয়েছে
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে
অ্যারে আচ্ছা অ্যারে পয়েন্টার
Good.
ও ওকে স্যার
না,
স্যার
এটা কিন্তু
প্রোগ্রামটা একবার দেখা।
হ্যাঁ,
হ্যাঁ
এটা কিন্তু তুমি a এর ক্ষেত্রে করতে পারবে না, a প্লাস প্লাস করতে পারবে না, বিকজ ইট ইজ অ্যারে।
এটা আচ্ছা
ওটা করলেই তোমাকে এখানে এরর দেবে, দেখো তুমি।
আচ্ছা
আর আমি a
আচ্ছা, এই
plus-
স্টার বি ব্র্যাকেটে মানে হচ্ছে এটা অ্যারের একটা পয়েন্টার, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ,
পয়েন্টার, বুঝতে
এখানে দেখো
পেরেছি।
এরর দিচ্ছে, দেখতে পাচ্ছ, এল ভ্যালু রিকোয়ার্ড।
হুম হুম।
অ্যারে নেমের ক্ষেত্রে তুমি করতে পারো না, কিন্তু বি যেহেতু পয়েন্টার টু অ্যান অ্যারে, সেই জন্য সেটার ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু তুমি বি প্লাস প্লাস করলে ও নেক্সট এলিমেন্টে চলে যাবে।
বুঝতে পেরেছি। হুম।
Okay. Any query from
Okay, sir.
today's class? Any query from today's class?
না
স্যার
স্যার টুডে
স্যার
হ্যাঁ।
বলছি এক্ষুনি যে প্রোগ্রামটা দেখালেন ওখানে বললেন অ্যারে টু পয়েন্টার হলে ওটা প্লাস প্লাস করলে এরর আসবে।
হ্যাঁ, দেখলেন আমি দেখালাম, অ্যারে নেমকে প্লাস প্লাস করা যায় না। এই দেখো আমি কম্পাইল করছি, দেখেছো এরর দিচ্ছে। এররটা কি দিচ্ছে দেখো, এই লাইনটাতে দিচ্ছে এল ভ্যালু রিকোয়ার্ড। অ্যারে নেমকে কখনো প্লাস প্লাস করা যায় না, কিন্তু পি কে প্লাস প্লাস করতে পারো, অ্যান্ড সেম বি কে প্লাস প্লাস করতে পারো, কিন্তু বি প্লাস প্লাস হলে কোথায় যাচ্ছে, 2 করে পারলো না, কিন্তু বি প্লাস প্লাস করলে ও একদম এন্ডে চলে
এন্ড
যাচ্ছে।
অফ দ্য হ্যাঁ।
হ্যাঁ,
হুম, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
ঠিক আছে, ওকে, তাহলে ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আজকে এন্ড করছি।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
ओके,
হ্যাঁ
थैंक यू।
तो वो इक्वेशन एक बार रिपीट कीजिए ना,
कौन सा
टाइम
बोलिए?
कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी वाला, c
अच्छा।
into 1।
ये वाला दिस बाइनरी सर्च वाला, or okay, so this in case of binary search, so this t of n means that this t of n means that you want to search one element from this n elements. To search, what you will do first, you will compare with the mid element. So this is the time required to compare with the mid element. Compare with mid element. Okay, one single comparison. Then your problem is divided into 2 parts. Both are n by 2. You are moving either this or this. You are not accessing both the parts. So that's why I am considering t of n by 2. If I am searching for both the parts, I will write it 2 into t n by 2. Okay. So now from this, what I am searching, what is the value of n by 2? If I put n by 2 here, it becomes 1 into c plus t of n by 2 square. So I have written it like this. And if I put this t of n by 2 in this equation, then it means e. So t of n by 2 is replaced here. So it becomes 1 into c plus t of n by 2 square. So it becomes tn equal to c plus t of this. So this is your second iteration. If you perform similarly third time, it will give you like this. So if I say after k times my element becomes 1. So after k times like this, the element become 1s. So I will write the equation. So in first equation 1 into c t of n by 2 to the power 1. In second equation 2 into c t n by 2 to the power 2. In third equation 3 into c n by 2 to the power 3. So in kth equation it becomes k into c n by 2 to the power k. Now what is the value of n by 2 to the power k? It is, remember, it is always 1. So from this, if you perform a multiplication, so it becomes n equal to 2 to the power k. Now what is the value of k? Obviously it is log n base 2. So if I put it here and put 1 in here, I will get a equation like this, which is a logarithmic equation. Okay, and what is the time complexity? Which value signifies the time complexity? See, this one is a constant time. This is not significant, but this term is very significant. N is how n is varying. In linear time complexity, n is varying with this form, n into c,
and
y equal to mx. But in logarithmic, it is c into log of n. So it depends on log. That's why it is called logarithmic time complexity. And remember, this one having less time than this one. this one having higher time than this one. What is this? Order of 1, constant time. So if you develop some algorithm which is giving time complexity this, in worst case, you will be given Nobel Prize because you have developed such an algorithm which is giving time complexity fixed, constant time complexity. Whatever may be the size, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, it will give you with constant time. Then you will definitely give Nobel. Otherwise, you have to implement how it is varying, whether it is varying logarithmic format or linear or polynomial. There is another term which is in between these two, order of n square and log order of n, which is called order of log n, n log n. So we will see in later classes that there are some algorithms, sorting algorithms, which will be solved in n log n time complexity. Okay. Now it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, can you repeat the programming part, sir?
Which one?
Sir, last coded section, sir.
Oh,
So my
this
net was
one,
not stable, sir. Yes,
This
sir.
one, this one. Now time is very
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
less. Just look at the code.
Sir, in short, sir, what you are doing in this coding,
Okay.
sir? Because
Here
my net
I am just
fluctuated, sir.
in this program, na?
Yes, sir.
In this program, I am just showing how array of pointer and pointer to an array is different. In case of array of pointer, it will be increased by size. But in case of pointer to an array, it will be increased by array. How many elements? 2. What is the size of integer? It is 2. So 2 plus 2, 2 into 2, 4. So what is the initial value of b? And after plus plus, what is the value? If you run it,